So, welcome to our meditation time today. I would invite you just to get comfortable in the spot that you have chosen for yourself, in the here and the now. And just notice how you're either seated or lying down, and just feel the ground beneath you. Feel the safety and the security of that spot that you've chosen. And then just begin to kind of feel the air. Just notice what's around you as your eyes close. Maybe you feel the air moving with the ceiling fan, with the air conditioning. Maybe you hear noise out on the street. Maybe there's movement in the house, the fur babies are scratching, whatever it is, just notice. And then think what a privilege it is that you're able to settle in for these few moments of meditation in this place that you call home. You designate this little spot, and maybe this spot serves other purposes at the other parts of the day, but just think how special it is that you can pause, kind of reset whatever's been going on today, this week, this lifetime, and just really bring yourself back to this present moment, knowing that this energy, this peacefulness that you're cultivating here, as much as you feel the air moving in that room right now, your peace, your presence will be felt in the same way. And there is nothing better that you can do for your home than that. So as we all settle, let's just begin to take a few deep breaths in and out, just finding a good rhythm, just a slow, intentional breath in, and just as slow and intentional breath out. Remembering that this is a practice. We're trying to cultivate this present moment awareness, and there will be thoughts that swoosh in and try to draw our attention away. And when they do that, just come right back here. A slow, deep breath in, and a slow, deep breath out. Bringing your awareness to the here and the now, again and again and again. And so we're on this journey, sitting with some of these teachings, these ancient, thousands and thousands of year old teachings of what yoga has given us, what it gave to folks so many years ago, and what it still gives to us today. And some of these, we call them the moral precepts, the ways of being, the behaviors. And they help us to understand that yoga is so much more than standing on a yoga mat or even sitting on a meditation spot. That there are these tools that we can truly make our own, cultivate, and then use out in that noisy, chaotic world of ours. And so we're going to sit today and for the next little bit and really explore this yogic principle called TAPAS. TAPAS is the principle of the heat. It's the self-discipline. If you think about your yoga practice, if you've ever been on a mat before, it's that moment when that instructor puts you in a plank pose. And then she just starts talking. And you're just holding, and you're just breathing, and you're feeling the heat. And you're trying to pay attention and be present, and all you can think about is the heat, and the heat, and the heat. And finally, the permission is given and your knees drop and you come and you rest and you let everything go. And what you notice, even when you drop down and lay on your belly or take a child's pose, you notice there's still some of that heat there. The heat you cultivated through that posture stays with you. Because the postures of yoga are not about building our stamina or building our muscles. They're about transformation. And there truly is not an element better at transformation than the element of fire. And that is what tapas offers us. And so I'd like us just to each think for just a few breaths here. What is the biggest challenge that you have right now? What is the toughest thing that you're working through? It could be something at work, in a relationship, in your family, in your own personal, intimate life that no one even knows about? What is the thing at the top of the list that is just the hardest? And that thing may be something that you have been grappling with and sitting with and being burdened with for a very long time. It could also be something that's new, that was just presented just this week. What is your challenge? And as you see it, just kind of do a little replay in your head and think, what are the tools that I've been throwing at this challenge? What are the things that it's caused me to think or to do or to be frustrated about or to feel sorrow over? We know that challenges are part of life, but we sure like the times in life when the challenges are few, when they're small. And so what tools, what resources have you applied to this challenge? Many of us, not necessarily just us in this space, but many of us across the 8 billion on this planet, the solutions that we push toward these challenges are often reactive. Sometimes they're in the moment and they're emotional and they're big. And then we look up and the challenge is still there, and in some situations it's even bigger. But I'd like to propose that the yogic teaching of tapas become our first tool in that toolbox that we pull out when it comes to the challenges of life. This tool of fire and self-discipline. This tool of investing in something now because you know there's going to be transformation in the days to come. But you got to make the investment up first. You got to stay in the plank pose. You got to feel the heat. And so just think about that for the next couple breaths. If you're willing to do that. To stay in the heat, knowing that transformation is coming. There's a quote that says, "Can you show courage and stay in the fire until you discover the blessing?" Think about a blacksmith. They take these things that just seem immovable and hard and strong, and then with patience, knowing that transformation is coming, they put that piece of steel, iron into the fire, and they watch transformation. They watch it happen before their eyes. It's not fast and it's not instant. But they make the investment because they know the transformation is coming. Think about the farmers who burn off their field for an entire season of harvest. They invest now because they know transformation in the next crop is coming. And so I'd ask us, do we have the courage to stay in the fire? Not emotionally fighting our way through it, but just staying in the fire, staying the course of what your meditation practice gives you. The peace, the awareness, the presence, the stillness. Do we have the courage to stay in the fire until we see the blessing? So I just want to pause and just let that sit with us. I know we want the blessing. I know we want to get to the other side. But are we willing to stay the course? Make the investment now. See the blessing later. So I would invite you just to join me in a few collective breaths together. And then we're going to just sit. We're going to practice being. Because I recognize, I also understand that meditation and the sitting and the being still is not simple. It's not easy. It's not without its own challenges. The mind wanders. The hips get achy. The distractions around the house disturb us, and on and on. But let's practice here, being still and just waiting. Sitting through the distractions without responding to them. Sitting through the thoughts and not following them. And sitting through the achy hip and not getting frustrated by it. Adjusting. Helping it to feel a little better, not getting frustrated by it. So together, let's just take a slow, deep breath in. And then just sigh it out as big as you can. And then a slow breath in. And sigh it out. One more breath in together. And just sigh it out. And if you need a visual to hang on to as we sit and we cultivate a commitment to stillness and being, if you need a visual, picture yourself in that plank pose, wondering if it will ever end, but staying the course, one breath, one moment at a time, knowing the investment you're making now is an investment in the transformation later. It's creating a belief in the strength that you have. It's creating this core power, not the core power of muscles and abdominals. It's internal, a core power that says you have value and you have worth and you believe that. That's what the plank pose gives. So if you need a visual, see yourself in plank, just hanging on, breath by breath, moment by moment. And thinking to yourself, do I have the courage for that challenge that she made me think of just a few moments ago? Do I have the courage to sit in the fire with it, knowing that the blessing is coming? Continuing to breathe. And now let's practice stillness. as you continue to breathe. Just pausing here and being aware of whatever came across your mind. The distractions, the wondering of, can I do this? The wishing that the challenge would pass a little faster. The thoughts about transformation and the blessings. Just be aware of whatever came across your mind. And as we prepare to close our time and return to the activity of our homes and of our lives, I also want to validate the fact that I get that this takes patience. It's not quick. It takes time. That's why TAPAS needs to be that first tool that we pull out, this tool of self-discipline, of staying the course, of sitting in the fire, of being patient, being still. If you've ever planted seeds in your garden, you didn't go out the next day expecting to pick vegetables for your dinner. You did the work, you stayed the course, and transformation came months later. If you've ever had children, you didn't just lay that baby in the crib and then walk in expecting to see them all grown up making good decisions. You invested, you sat, you were patient, you stayed the course. Transformation and the blessing came. There's so many examples in our life of how TAPAS has played a part. Self-discipline, investment in the here and the now. So can't we do the same thing with these challenges that we are experiencing? Knowing it's going to take time. Knowing that the only way through it is through it. But also knowing you got to go through it with the right tools. Remember your plank pose. Staying with the fire, feeling the heat, knowing transformation is coming. Empowerment. Belief in your value. That is what TAPAS offers us. And we're going to explore this a few more times over the coming days just to keep shoring up our understanding of this tool. But I want to leave us with this question of, do we have the courage to sit in the fire, patiently waiting for the blessing? Namaste.